What if the story you know isn't the whole story? What if there are layers and depths that you haven't yet discovered? What if there's another side, another angle that you haven't considered, a hidden perspective that changes everything? Imagine the possibilities that lie just beyond your current understanding. We love stories. They entertain us, they teach us, they shape our worldviews and influence our decisions. But what happens when we get the story wrong? When our understanding is incomplete or biased? What happens when we only see one viewpoint? We miss out on the richness and complexity of the full narrative. We often only see a sliver of the bigger picture, a mere fragment of the truth. We get comfortable with our version of events. We settle into our beliefs and stop questioning. But this limited view can lead to misunderstandings and missed opportunities. It can create barriers between us and others. It can keep us from seeing the full potential of a situation. We might miss the bigger picture, the grander scheme. It can even stop us from seeing people for who they truly are. We might overlook their true essence and potential. To truly understand something, we need to look beyond the surface. We need to dig deeper, ask questions, and seek out the hidden layers. We need to seek out different viewpoints. We need to be open to new ideas and perspectives. This is the magic of changing perspectives. It's about seeing the world in a new light, with fresh eyes. It's about flipping the script, challenging our assumptions, and being willing to change our minds. And opening ourselves up to a world of new possibilities. A world where we can grow, learn, and evolve. It's about seeing the world with fresh eyes. It's about embracing the unknown and being curious about what lies beyond our current understanding. Perspective is powerful. It shapes how we interpret the world around us. It influences our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Think about it. Two people can witness the same event and walk away with completely different interpretations. Imagine a crowded city street. A street musician plays their heart out. Some people rush by, barely noticing. Others stop to listen, tossing a coin in the hat. Their reactions are shaped by their individual perspectives, their past experiences, their current mood. Even the weather can play a role. Perspective is the lens through which we experience reality. But sometimes, our lens gets smudged. We get stuck in our own heads. We fail to see the bigger picture. This is where flipping the script comes in. It's about consciously choosing to see things from a different angle. We all know the story of Little Red Riding Hood. A young girl, a basket of goodies, and a wolf disguised as grandma. It's a classic tale of caution. But what if we've been telling the wrong story all along? What if, instead of focusing on Little Red Riding Hood, we shift our attention to the wolf? What if we try to understand his motivations, his fears, his own story? Maybe he was driven by hunger, not malice. Maybe he was protecting his territory, not trying to trick a little girl. This isn't about justifying the wolf's actions. It's about understanding that there are always multiple sides to every story. By considering the wolf's perspective, we gain a more nuanced understanding of the whole situation. We start to see the complexity, the gray areas where things aren't so black and white. Sometimes, it's not even about different sides of the same story. Sometimes, it's about the way we interpret words and actions. Think about cross-cultural communication. A gesture that's perfectly innocent in one culture can be deeply offensive in another. Imagine a simple thumbs up. In most Western cultures, it's a sign of approval, of agreement. But in some Middle Eastern countries, it's the equivalent of giving someone the middle finger. The same gesture, two completely different meanings. This is why perspective is so crucial. It's about understanding that our way of seeing things isn't the only way. It's about being open to different interpretations, different ways of communicating. It's about bridging the gaps between us. Section 5. The bias within. We all have biases. It's part of being human. These biases are ingrained in us, often without us even realizing it. We develop these biases over time, shaped by our experiences, our upbringing, and the people around us. From the moment we are born, we are influenced by our environment, our family, and our culture. These biases can be helpful, guiding our decisions and shaping our worldview. They help us make quick judgments and navigate the complexities of life. But they can also distort our perception of reality. They can lead us to make unfair assumptions and judgments about others. Imagine you're interviewing candidates for a job. You have a list of qualifications and skills you're looking for. You have a certain image in your mind of the ideal candidate. This image is influenced by your own experiences and biases. Someone who looks a certain way, speaks a certain way, comes from a certain background. These preconceived notions can be limiting. Your bias might cause you to overlook a perfectly qualified candidate simply because they don't fit your preconceived notion. This can lead to missed opportunities and a lack of diversity in the workplace. Flipping the script requires us to acknowledge our biases. It means taking a hard look at our own assumptions and being willing to challenge them. It's about recognizing that our perspective is just that, ours. It's shaped by our own experiences and may not be the full picture. It's not the only one, and it might not be entirely accurate. By opening ourselves up to other perspectives, we can gain a more complete understanding of the world. By challenging our biases, we open ourselves up to a wider range of possibilities. We can see things from different angles and make more informed decisions. We become more objective, more understanding, and ultimately, better decision makers. This not only benefits us, but also creates a more inclusive and equitable environment for everyone. Section 6. Empathy, the heart of understanding. Perspective shifting is closely tied to empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's about stepping outside of ourselves and into the shoes of another person. It's about seeing the world through their eyes, feeling what they feel. When we practice empathy, we're essentially flipping the script on our own perspective. We're actively choosing to see the world from a different point of view. This can be challenging. It requires us to confront our own biases, our own preconceived notions. But empathy is also incredibly rewarding. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. It helps us to build stronger relationships, resolve conflicts more effectively, and create a more compassionate world. Section 7. Challenging your assumptions. We all make assumptions. It's how our brains process information. Our minds are wired to take shortcuts, to make sense of the world quickly. We see something, and we instantly make assumptions about it based on our past experiences and knowledge. These assumptions help us navigate daily life efficiently, but sometimes our assumptions can be wrong. They can be based on incomplete information or biases we aren't even aware of. They can lead us to misjudge people, misunderstand situations, and make poor decisions. Misjudgments can strain relationships and create unnecessary conflicts. Flipping the script encourages us to question our assumptions. It invites us to look at things from a different perspective. It's about asking ourselves, what if I'm wrong? What if there's another way to see this situation? It's about being open to the possibility that there's more to the story than we initially realize. Sometimes the truth is hidden beneath layers of our own preconceptions. It's about being willing to admit when we're wrong and adjust our thinking accordingly. Admitting mistakes can be difficult, but it's a crucial step in personal growth. Challenging our assumptions can be uncomfortable. It can feel like stepping into the unknown, facing uncertainty head-on. It forces us to confront our own biases and limitations. This self-reflection can be a powerful tool for self-improvement, but it's also essential for growth. Just like climbing a steep hill, the effort can lead to rewarding views and new insights. When we question our assumptions, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We start to see the world in a broader, more nuanced way. We become more flexible, more adaptable, and more willing to learn. This mindset not only enriches our own lives, but also helps us connect more deeply with others. Section 8. Growth through perspective shifting. Perspective shifting isn't always easy. It can be challenging to confront our own biases, to see the world through the eyes of someone else, especially when those eyes show us something we don't want to see. But this discomfort is a sign of growth. When we push ourselves to see things from a different angle, we expand our understanding of the world. We develop empathy and compassion. We become better communicators, better problem solvers, better human beings. It's like climbing a mountain. It's hard work. It requires effort and determination. But the view from the top, that's where the magic happens. That's where we see the world in all its complexity and beauty. Section 9. A world transformed. Imagine a world where everyone practiced perspective shifting. A world where we took the time to understand each other's viewpoints, to empathize with one another, to challenge our own assumptions. What would that world look like? It would be a world with less conflict, more understanding, and greater cooperation. It would be a world where we celebrated our differences and worked together to solve common problems. It would be a world where everyone felt seen, heard, and valued. This might seem like an idealistic dream, but it's a dream worth striving for. And it all starts with each of us making a conscious effort to flip the script, to see the world through the eyes of others. Section 10. Finding the truth. Perspective shifting isn't about always agreeing with everyone else. It's not about abandoning our own beliefs or values. It's about seeking truth, even if it makes us uncomfortable. Sometimes, flipping the script means acknowledging that we might be wrong. It might mean changing our minds about something we've believed for a long time. This can be difficult, but it's also incredibly liberating. When we're open to different perspectives, we're open to learning and growing. We're open to discovering new truths about ourselves, about the world, about everything. And that's a powerful thing. Section 11. Your story, your perspective. You are the author of your own story. You get to choose how you see the world. You get to decide what perspectives you embrace. So, choose wisely. Choose to be open-minded. Choose to be empathetic. Choose to challenge your assumptions. And most importantly, choose to flip the script. You might be surprised by what you discover. The world is full of stories waiting to be told, waiting to be heard. Go out there and explore them. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. You might just change your perspective, and in doing so, change the world.